What's up guys, Blue Collar Baldwin here, and on today's episode of the E36 Drift project I'm going to be doing my rear copper brake lines. Once we've got the copper lines on, we're going to be moving on to the front coilovers, ready to fit brand new steering tie rods and E46 lower arms. Stay tuned. So, with making the brake line, this is one that I just done practice flares on, just to, have a go, just to make sure the flares are correct and it come out fine. But it was too short, so I'm gonna make two new ones. You get your little trusty tool, give it a little twiddle, slightly stiffen. This is quite a finicky job, so you do have to be quite patient. Because if you screw it all the way, it's just gonna be too hard. That goes into your copper pipe hole. Make sure it's in there properly. It's always annoying when it's too short. When you start cranking, it's just going to push the pipe out the back end. You don't want that. Once you've opened your hole slightly more, you grab your tool, twist that into the hole. There we go. Our little clamping device, I don't have a clue what it's called, I'll be honest. With your little spike on it, I guess. I guess that's what you could call it. That ain't gonna focus. That's terrible, that. Will it focus? Probably not. No. Never mind. Focus on this is bloody terrible. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. You can see the flare on there now. So that goes like that, then sits like that against the edge. So before you do your other end, make sure to put both of your joining bits on. I've learned by that mistake before and it does get annoying. So now you'll chuck that one on that way, and now we flare the other side. Now I've got the cables made up, I'm gonna have a go at fitting them and see how well they fit. See how this goes then. As you can see, I now have the copper line all plumbed in, ready to go. So I'm going to jump on that side now, and then we'll be away. So now that I've got the rear copper lines fitted, I'm going to look at fitting the front coilovers, ready for the new arms and the new tie rods. Let's crack on with it. Bit of an awkward job when you're by yourself, but you can get the job done. So now that I've got these three top bolts in, the strut is off its own weight then. Now I can move on to doing these lower bolts now. And before putting that bolt back in, what I like to do before I fit any bolt, put a bit of copper slip on it, and then if you need to get it out, it will come out and you're not sat there struggling with foul language coming out your mouth. Been there, done that, too often. So we got a nice bit of copper slip, and just chuck that onto there. There we go. Now that shouldn't seize in the hole, and it'll come out nice and easy when you want it to. So now my coilovers are fitted, I'm going to be attacking the track control arm nuts. This one I've already managed to get off because it came off quite easily, unlike usually. The best tool to have for that is obviously a ball joint tool, but I don't have one at the minute, as you can tell. They like to get stuck, so you can put a socket on it. Then if you could see that, it's just spinning the whole piece. So what I'm just going to do is break out the angle grinder, cut it across there, as I've got new ones to go on anyway. Perfect. Lovely. So I now have both lower arms off, and they were E36 ones, as you can tell by here, but I had to completely destroy this bit to get it out, but I've got new ones just there to go in anyway, so that's no problem. I also had to cut the tie rod because that was completely stuck and jammed in there. I've got new Febi ones of those, so I'm going to be fitting them. Now I'm going to be cutting these little clips off to get this boot off. There's a thread that goes into the steering rack. I'll get that off and show you now. You want to slide the boot all the way over, and it will show you that little one there. And what you want to do with the spacer, as you can see, it's hit over to go onto the flap side, and that's to stop this coming undone when you drive it. So what you want to do, smack that over so the spacer is then straight. And the best tool I found to remove these are a big pair of Stilson, about that big. I did try it with the smaller ones, but it didn't fancy it. So a good big set of them, and it will come straight off. I'm pretty sure this is a size 24, if that helps anyone. Cracked it straight off that. Nice and easy. Then once you cranked it off, if you do have a set of smaller ones, it's a bit easier just to... There we go, look. A bit easier just to get it out. There she pops. Then just spin that one out. There we go. You want to make sure you keep the spacer, as when I bought new ones it didn't come with one. And with this one there should at least be a bit of resistance on that joint, but as you can see it's like throwing a sausage down an all way. No good. Way too flimsy, so that's completely gone. To show you what I mean by the joint being bad, is this the one I've just taken off. As you can see, flimsy as anything, and you got that noise. These are the brand new ones I've just bought, Febi Bilstein, wherever you say it. Bilstein, it's Febi. They're OEM quality parts, absolutely brilliant. It's what I always usually go for if I'm going standard or OEM. And as you can see, it's got the resistance, so that should make the steering feel a lot nicer. So when putting your tie rod back on with your little spacer, make sure it's on the right way. You got a little notch there. There's a little notch just there that the spacer sits into. Before you fit it, remember to put the boot back on, because I've done it before and I forgot to put the boot on. So before you tighten it all the way in, you want to make sure that little tab is locked in, just like that. And you screw that in. Start off with the small and see if that does it, but grab the slightly bigger pair. Well, I'd say slightly bigger. You versus the guy she told you not to worry about. And there we go, that ain't going anywhere. When fitting your lower arms, you have 3 mounting points. And then, when it comes to the back, that back piece will slide into a lollipop bushing like this. And then that bolts up into those 2 holes there. Let's get on. We'll fit the other side now. I've got to fit this coil over back in now then. Fucking hell. So now that the rear copper brake lines are fitted and the E36 lower control arms are fitted, and also the brand new steering tie rods are fitted, probably going to call it an end to this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!